As a spectacle, it looks pretty cool. But for the character, I'm still not impressed. Hey, what's up, nerd fam? This is your boy Gashawn. I want to welcome you to Enter the Nerd. Today, I want to talk about the Spider-Man No Way Home official trailer. Now, it dropped a couple of days ago. It's got like 16 million views already. It should be. It's very, very popular. Now, if you've watched anything from my channel before or not, I'll let you know that Spider-Man is my favorite comic book character. It's something that a character I've been reading since I was very young, and I know this character from the comic book. So just to preface everything I'm about to say, that is where my preference lies, is source material. Now, if that's not something for you and you don't know him from that and you like the movies and you know him from the cartoons, I can understand why you don't share the point of view that I'm about to share right now about this trailer and even the movies that came beforehand and how I think they've been handling the character. So we're probably not going to agree if that's where it lies, or maybe you have a bit of both. Whatever. Hopefully we can have a discussion about this rather than going, this is great and your opinion is whatever, because even if you like it, I'm not getting on you about it. I'm not judging you about that. So as far as what I see in this trailer, I see a lot of the same thing that makes me shake my head. So first off, as far as a spectacle, if you love tons of CGI, if you love tons of special effects, this is for you, right? It looks great in terms of what's being shown. Like the battle sequences look like they're gonna be crazy, and that's awesome, right? However, my number one gripe with how the MCU or Disney or Sony or whatever has been handling Spider-Man as a character is that they don't do really anything with this character. He is always just a set piece for a much larger story, but they don't do justice for him. And here's why I see something in this movie. I haven't seen the movie, so obviously I'm not gonna speak in absolutes here, but from what I can see here, there are certain pieces here that let me know that they're still kind of doing the same thing. There's like more than 4 people from his rogues gallery in this movie. We're talking about, I think I even spotted the Hobgoblin, there's Lizard, Sandman, Electro, Green Goblin, obviously, Otto Octavius is in here. And these are all villains who have affected him in very, very different ways, who really should be in their own movie with him, right? Instead, we're kind of getting them all at once, and we're not going to get that. And even some of his other villains, like MORBIUS and KRAVEN the Hunter, and even VENOM, have their own movies away from him rather than being in a movie with him to support those different parts of growth in his story, which is something that I've grown to love, obviously, in the comic books. And if you haven't seen it, I understand why that wouldn't really resonate with you. You just like to see him, you just like to see him in the suit, swinging a web, and fighting. If that's all it takes for you, understand why you're not going to have this gripe. So once again, understand why we're on different parts here. But for me, it doesn't really service much for him in terms of building the character. Now, from what I can see in this trailer, he's also at some point comes to blows with Doctor Strange, and that fight should really last for all of 30 seconds, really, because he's not messing with Doctor Strange. And it seems to be on the fate of the people who are coming in. And apparently, like, he says to him, all these people die fighting Spider-Man, that's their fate. And perhaps he is going to go to extreme measures to get rid of them, maybe kill them. And Spider-Man is not down with that method of trying to get rid of them. He wants to try and do it peacefully, maybe. I'm just guessing based on what they said. We don't know what the real context is until we actually watch the movie, right? But that's what they're showing us so far. And obviously they're removing certain things, like they're not showing probably the other Spider-Man are probably swinging around with him, and they probably just remove that, whatever it is going on, right? They're going to appear, especially when you see Otto go, "You're not Peter," right? So he's used to something else. I get it. And he uses a line like, "Hey, I can't save them all." And that is actually something that in the comic book is a big deal for him, that he can't save like the people he loves. However, that's already missing from this character because there's no Gwen Stacy. The loss of Uncle Ben, which is something that he's in that age range where that would still be weighing heavily on him, is not there anymore. It's more of a Tony Stark thing. And that's still different. It still hits very differently because, Uncle Ben's the one that raised him. And, the whole great power, great responsibility, all that is missing. I'm guessing they're gonna do that with the new freshman year show, and I'll get into that in a different video. But regardless, that's missing. So he has that sentiment towards villains that he's just now meeting who look like they're trying to kill him in this trailer. So, and it could be wrong. He could be talking about somebody completely different when he says, I can't save them all, right? He could be talking about somebody different, but as for what they're showing us, that's what it looks like they're talking about. But it could be a bait and switch, right? But also at some point, I guess he's supposed to be on trial. There seems to be a lot of threads here. Like he's supposed to be, on trial for killing Mysterio, handling all these people who are coming in from different multiverses, which obviously this multiverse thing is also servicing the whole multiverse of madness. So it's like this movie's also a set piece for another movie. It's got all his rogues gallery in it, so they're not doing anything individually for his character. It's just it's a lot. It's a whole lot in one movie, just for it to be in one movie. And obviously, I think Venom is probably gonna appear just based off of the end of the second movie. I don't really know what they're doing here, and maybe that's the issue. And if I just want to turn my brain off and just enjoy the spectacle, I guess I could do that. But in terms of what they're doing individually for a character, I don't really see it. And apparently, Daredevil might be in this movie, as his lawyer. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of stuff that's supposed to be in this movie. And obviously, Doctor Strange, even him doing the whole spell in the beginning and then kind of like blaming Peter for it. It's like, you're not supposed to be giving him spells for personal gain. Like, it's not like Peter did the spell and then without your permission, like, you helped him do it. And the fact that he's blaming, it's kind of stupid because, like, he's a smart guy. He's a surgeon. And they're kind of making him a bit, like, infantile. They're making him like a child just for the sake of this movie. But he's a really smart guy. Yes, he's prideful, but he's not an idiot. So, yeah, that's also very, very, very strange. So, also taking certain characters out of character just so they can fit the context of this movie. But yeah, that's always going to be my gripe when it comes to how they handle Spider-Man, is that he's not allowed to really grow, and his villains are what make him grow. He learns something very, very different. But now they're all in this movie, so it'll just be there to fight, and then his actual villains are growing outside of him, getting their own movies and stuff like that. The whole villain verse. And yeah, it's like they're forming like a Sinister Six thing almost in one movie without the real big payoff. It's just to throw them in there. And honestly, like I said in the last video, it's just to service the overall MCU, but not him. And that sucks for me because I am a huge Spider-Man fan. So I'm going to go see it because of that. But I won't lie if I won't say I'm disappointed with the direction. And honestly, I want these to work. I really like Tom Holland as an actor. I think he absolutely could pull off the young to the older Spider-Man. I think he's absolutely talented. I think they're just misusing the character, and it's kind of a waste. That's just me. And this trailer doesn't make me feel any different. I know it looks cool. I know a lot of people like the nostalgia of the old movies, the Sam Raimi movies, or if you like the Amazing one, that's cool. More power to you. But for what they do with the character, I just don't dig it. Let me know. What do you think about the trailer? What are you looking forward to? Do you like what they're doing? Does this inspire any more faith what they're doing with the character? If so, let's talk about it. If not, let's talk about it too. Until then, into the nerd.